¿Quiénes somos? ¿Quiénes somos? ¿Quiénes somos? ¿Quiénes somos? ¿Quiénes somos? ¿Quiénes somos?
The Trump administration's zero-tolerance policy, announced back in 2018, has been continuously blocked from systematically breaking up migrant families. Nevertheless, hundreds of children crossing the border continue to be separated from their parents with virtually no oversight. This atrocity does not go unnoticed. CHIRLA is doing everything in its power to alleviate the situation. And for that, today we have CHIRLA senior attorney Yolanda Martin to speak a little bit more on the subject.
Hi both of you.
Hi, thank you so much for joining us. So in the previous episodes, we've had other people from the legal department joining us. Can you talk about what department you belong to?
So I belong to the Removal Defense Unit, and what we do is we represent individuals before immigration court. As part of that, we represent people that are in both detained and that are not detained. And we provide services in the detention facilities as well.
When is the best time to go seek your help?
Honestly, the best time would be before you have any type of hearing with an immigration court. It's very important to be ready and take precaution so that you know what your rights are, what options are available to you, instead of waiting until you have an emergency.
So I have a number here, 389 separated families. So that's children who have been taken away from their families. And out of that, 1/5 of them are 5 years or younger. What is CHIRLA doing to help?
So one of the things that we're doing is that CHIRLA is part of a rapid response network. And so when there are any raids or detentions of individuals, the rapid response network is contacted. And as CHIRLA, as the attorneys in CHIRLA, we receive that information and we do our best to be able to go visit the individual at whether they're just detained, so we'll go visit them and do a consultation with them. If the person's already in a detention facility, we go and visit them there and see whether we can provide legal services to them. Also with children, we do represent unaccompanied children, and in their legal process, either before an asylum office, before the immigration court, and also before family court, if that's necessary for their process.
So you mentioned the raids taking place at the moment. And at the border, what is CHIRLA doing? Because I know that CHIRLA, when the migrant caravans were coming, when that was really big, CHIRLA actually took some of their attorneys to the other side, to Mexico, to assist. And now, when they're on this side, on the United States side, what is CHIRLA doing?
So one of the things that we do have is we provide consultations to people. We have them 3 times out of the week. People come to our office and we take them in, each person, and we ask about their case, and we're able to analyze what they can actually do here. We also explain the immigration process, because a lot of individuals get confused about where they need to present themselves, how long do they have to apply for asylum if that's the case, and also what options do minor children have, because a lot of the times the relief options for them are not very are not widely known by everyone. So we invite people to come to our office before they have a hearing so that we can explain things to them. We also provide, if someone is detained, the family members can come to the office and we can do some type of consultation, and also schedule a visit to the person at the detention center. So, and we also help with providing services, representation in bond hearings.
So I understand that CHIRLA also has part of their website, a form that people can fill out if they need an attorney to go talk to their family member at a detention center. Can you tell us a little bit about what that process looks like?
Yes, so that information is forwarded to us directly. We get it in an email and we try to coordinate with our attorneys to see who's going next to the detention facility, to see how quick, if we need to go faster because of something of an emergency, or when their next hearing is as well. And we also, it's important for the family members to provide us with their contact information, because a lot of the times we don't have immediate access to the detainee, so we need information about their case, what has the detainee told them, and so we always coordinate with the family, and so it's very important that they're actively looking for assistance.
What's some important information that families should have available if they need to contact a lawyer?
So it's very important to know there's something called an A number. The A number, it starts with A and it's 9 numbers, and it's like an identification. They call it an alien number. So if someone has had a case with court or another type of immigration case, most likely they will have that. Also, the full name of the person, the country they're from, the date of birth, and if sometimes the detainee will be able to call the family and let them know what facility or where they are located.
So this all ties back to like knowing your rights, correct? And then what advice would you give people that before they get detained?
Before they get detained is to seek consultations, to seek advice from an attorney, because what we're noticing now is that there have been raids that have been announced, right? And so now they're immigration is focusing on families. And so we want to be prepared, because it just doesn't affect us as the person that, that gets picked up by immigration. It also affects our family. So we want to be prepared.
Thank you so much, Yolanda, for sharing all that information. We'll be right back with more.
¿Quiénes somos? ¿Quiénes somos? ¿Quiénes somos? ¿Quiénes somos? ¿Quiénes somos? ¿Quiénes somos? ¿Quiénes somos?
Bueno, regresamos con Yolanda, and we're going to continue the conversation on family separation. Can you please let us know? So we know that family separation is happening at the border currently. Is it happening anywhere else?
Yes, definitely. So now this administration has announced that it's actually focusing on families where for example, the mother and the father have both have removal orders. So it's actually now they're being targeted even more actively. And so we saw that last month where the raids were threatened, and then it stopped, and then again now. So we, as CHIRLA, we're trying to focus on helping giving out information and helping individuals who are actually detained by immigration.
Something I've been hearing a lot too is collateral. Can you explain what that term means and how it applies when people are being detained?
So, for example, if a family people are detained, right? There's a possibility that individuals that are with them will also be detained by immigration because they will ask for information as to their citizenship, where are they from, and what's their immigration status. So it's very important that people do not answer questions without seeking the advice of an attorney.
Something that you mentioned is that they're coming in for the parents, for both of them, if they both have a detention order. So what does that mean? So the children will be left behind by themselves, because it could be that it's just mom and dad at home, and ICE comes, takes both of them, and then what?
So we recently, as of yesterday, we've heard actually of stories of immigration going to the home and actually asking about where are the children, where are their children. We've also heard of that immigration is going to go to homes where there's both parents that are going to be removed and be accompanied by some type of social worker or someone that will, take custody of the children, regardless of what the children are U.S. citizens. And so that's something that's very concerning to us, because the effect that it has on the children, seeing their parents be removed from the home, not knowing when they're going to see them again, it's not something that affects them for a short period of time. It stays with them, and we don't know how prolonged the separation will be, as we've seen with other cases when children have been separated from family members.
This is a horrible thing to be happening to our community. What is CHIRLA? How is CHIRLA responding to the raids that are in the foreshadow?
So as of right now, we've been receiving information of people that have been detained. As of last week, we've gone to actually see people at the federal building where they're initially processed to give a consultation to those individuals. We've actually also have gone to the Adelanto detention facility to visit other people as well that have been placed at that facility, and we will actually represent some of those individuals. And we're working on that and contacting the family to be able to explain what we need from them, so hopefully we can get them released on bond.
And at this detention facilities, it's all ages? Is it mostly adults, young adults, children?
So, for example, the Adelanto detention facility, it's adults, 18 and older,
Okay.
which 18, I mean, is very young. It's almost, a child. So, 18, there's a division for women and there's a division for men. But the conditions there are not, are not the best. And
They're horrible.
Yeah, they're horrible. There's a lot of stories about the conditions at this actual facility. We're also we're trying to see where the children will actually be taken if they are U.S. citizens and they are removed from the home.
And if a family member outside wants to locate one of their family members, they can do it online?
So there's a website called the ICE Detainee Locator. It's not always up to date, especially when the person was just detained. So one of the things is seeking an attorney that could help you navigate that system to be able to contact the deportation officer to get that information. And also at CHIRLA, we provide help if the person comes to a consultation, or as you mentioned, they provide that information on the website so that we can try to help them.
So go to the CHIRLA offices every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday for a free legal consultation.
Yes, so just try to be early because we take the first certain amount of individuals. Yeah, but we welcome everyone to come.
But just to be specific, this is only available at the LA headquarters, so you can't just go to any CHIRLA office currently, but we're in the process of making that happen. Thank you so much for sharing that really important information, and we're going to be right back with more.
¿Quiénes somos? ¿Quiénes somos? ¿Quiénes somos? ¿Quiénes somos? ¿Quiénes somos? ¿Quiénes somos?
Welcome back. We're here at CHIRLA TV with Yolanda Martin talking about the separation of families. And I wanted to learn a little bit more about your own experience because you mentioned that you've been to the Adelanto facility, the one in downtown as well. So what is it like being there firsthand, looking to assist these immigrant families?
So emotionally, it's difficult because it's seeing the separation of the families. A lot of the times when we go to the facilities, we see either the mother of children who are being taken care of by family members, and maybe she's the main provider. We also see fathers who are the main providers, and the families are left in a way helpless because the parent is not there to provide for the family and help take care of them. So it is difficult. It's also it's a lot of work because the immigration cases in detention are difficult and they move at a very fast pace. So it's very important to coordinate with the families. We do our best to try to get out our clients out on bond because we all know that people that are out on bond and are able to fight their case while they're released have a better chance of being successful.
So yeah, I want to learn a little bit more about that because like you mentioned, when they separate the family, it could be that they're taking the breadwinner. So CHIRLA, I understand there is a bond fund that these families can take advantage of and get assistance that way.
Yeah, so CHIRLA does have a bond fund, and what happens is that if we're able to obtain a bond for a client, CHIRLA is able to provide some type of funding to contribute to that. So it's another way that CHIRLA tries to help the community or clients, because we understand that sometimes the bond amount is high and that it's difficult to get that type of money.
Is there a way that viewers can also contribute to this bond?
Yes, I would really ask viewers to please donate to this bond because we've been able, at least in the last 2 months, we've been able to help two clients to be released to their families because of the money that has been put in this fund. And also any donations also helped for us to, not only for the bond, but also to represent and to be able to be more present at the facilities and to be able to do more consultations for clients.
So we know that about like confidentiality and privacy, but is there a story you can share with us on how it is that CHIRLA has been able to help the community?
So there is one where one of our attorneys was representing a young man. We were able to get him released on bond, and the CHIRLA fund was able to provide part of that money, and he was released. And now we're preparing his case to go to court, but now he's not detained. If I can share another one, there's another young lady that she was just released, I believe, earlier this week. We worked with another organization to provide support for her, to provide the court with documentation showing that she wouldn't be a flight risk. And this is a 18-year-old young lady. Wow. Who was scared, didn't know what to do, didn't have her parents here in the U.S. And so we were able to work with her, and she was actually released earlier this week.
That makes me so happy to hear stories like that. You also mentioned that you work with other nonprofits. Can you talk a little bit about the work that you do and how it is that they also help in this type of work?
So, for example, CHIRLA is is a nonprofit organization. We also work with other nonprofits to be able to share information, what are the better ways to represent clients, what's going on in the court, and not only those type of organizations, legal organizations, we also work with organizations that provide, for example, therapy, other type of services that are very helpful for our clients.
Yeah, it's always easier to fight your case from the outside.
Yes, definitely. I mean, you have more time, more resources.
The support of your family as well,
Definitely.
right there. So we encourage everybody once again to make sure to visit CHIRLA.org, make your contribution so that we can continue to support and assist these different cases, have more successful stories. I mean, they're not done, they're outside now. That's the first win, but now it's to actually help them win their case.
Definitely. So I would ask everyone, if you're able to, for example, become a member. We have our membership drive right now. That helps us a lot. And also, if you're able to contribute even whatever amount it is to CHIRLA.
Mm-hmm. And folks, showing up through your money is not the only way. We're constantly having demonstrations outside of like B18 as mentioned. So you're welcome to join those demonstrations as well. Your presence is important now more than ever to have these positive cases and have more resources for our communities. Yeah,
there was I just wanted to mention that there was a light vigil not too long ago, right outside of the detention center, and I attended it, and it was just so powerful. It was so emotional. It was very emotional, and we could see people from the windows waving at us as well with their lights. So people, these are real people. These are people who need our support, and CHIRLA is doing a lot of things to make sure that these people are represented, that they have a voice, because they're essentially voiceless. They cannot vote. They cannot do anything. So we really invite you to contribute.
And another way I think that people can help us is by, if they see any immigration activity, they can report it to the hotline, and we try to verify whether it's true information or not, so that we're able to provide services maybe to those individuals that were affected by those raids or by that immigration activity.
Yeah, don't let the fear take over you. Be empowered. Make sure that you're there to support your family, your friends, your community, because we need you right now. And with that, we'll be right back to continue our conversation with Yolanda Martin.
¿Quiénes somos? ¿Quiénes somos? ¿Quiénes somos? ¿Quiénes somos? ¿Quiénes somos? ¿Quiénes somos? ¿Quiénes somos?
Regresamos otra vez. Aquí tenemos a Yolanda, una abogada con CHIRLA, and we're going to continue the conversation on family separations. We really wanted to know a little bit more about the term final deportation order. Can you talk to us what it is?
So I would like for everyone to know that it's not always the final say on whether you could stay or not. It would be good to consult with an attorney to see if there are any other options whether your case can be reopened or not. But it's very important to go to an attorney and explain everything that's happened. Whatever documentation you have from your case, including your A number, would be helpful for the attorney to see whether anything else can be done ahead of time to prevent any issues.
We also have heard people of going to immigration consultations. Would you recommend that people go to talk to them about their final deportation orders?
So I would recommend to go to an attorney, someone who's barred. Immigration consultants are not attorneys, and so I have not studied the law, and I cannot say that a guarantee that would be, that they would know everything or would give you your best options.
It's always better to trust someone who has passed the bar, right, and not just go with somebody who might know, might not know. They're going on just their hunch. And with a lawyer, no, you have to actually learn all of these things.
Yes, and I think it's also important to make sure that the attorney is an immigration attorney that has experience in that type of those type of cases, so that you know that you're getting the right information.
They can find them at CHIRLA.
Yes, definitely. You can come to CHIRLA. We also have a referral list in case you want more than one consultation. And it's always good to just be informed, be safe.
What advice would you give someone to determine if that's the proper lawyer for them?
I would say whether you feel comfortable with them, whether the information that they're giving you is consistent with what you know, whether the person is barred, and so those are things that I would look with an attorney, whether I can communicate with him or her, and whether I feel like I'm being helped.
Someone you can trust.
Definitely.
Exactly. So we want to invite everybody. If you have a family member who needs support, who is detained, we invite you to visit the CHIRLA offices in Westlake. Come to the CHIRLA offices. You can come in any Tuesday, Thursday, or Saturday before 8 a.m. Make sure you arrive early because there's a long line and they have limited capacity. So come to the CHIRLA office, get a free consultation, and don't lose hope because the CHIRLA lawyers will fight for your case.
And don't forget, if you have a family separation case, you can also log it in online. And if we have the time and space, we will go visit your family members at the detention centers.
Thank you. That's all the time we have today at CHIRLA TV. Join us next week.
¿Quiénes somos? ¿Quiénes somos? ¿Quiénes somos? ¿Quiénes somos? ¿Quiénes somos?